In this video, you're going to learn the exact trading strategy that I've applied on gold this week using both the 4-hour and the 1-hour time frame. I'm going to be running you through my full process by explaining both the fundamental and the technical perspective of my long position here on gold. Now, here on YouTube, there's a lot of content surrounding the trading space, and you guys have probably seen many different strategies. Now, throughout this video, I want to bring you along in my overall approach to the markets, which I've used consistently to achieve results just like these. Now, throughout the next few videos, I'm going to be consistently doing trade breakdowns every single week, showing you guys what kind of positions I've been taking in the previous week, so that you understand exactly how I trade, giving you real insights into what it's like to be a profitable trader. Now, without further ado, let's dive straight in. Now, today we're going to be taking the trade on the 1-hour time frame, but before we actually dive into the 1 hour, always start on the 4-hour time frame to understand what is our overall market direction. Now, based here on the 4-hour time frame, to me it is very clear that the market has been forming higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, and another potential higher low to form again a new potential higher high. So based on the 4-hour time frame, we are clearly bullish, and therefore I can only be looking for long positions, because when my 4-hour time frame here in the immediate market structure that we have is bullish, I will never ever be looking for a potential short position, especially if I'm going to be entering the position on the 1-hour time frame. Now, with that 4-hour time frame then identified, I also need to look, where am I going to be trading towards? Now, where I'm going to be trading towards is always going to be based on liquidity. And what you want to be looking at is pretty much the price action that we have here to our left. Now, when I look at what we have here to our left, I can identify small areas of supply. For example, a supply zone over here where I can see, hey, the market has provided us with an initial reaction in towards the downside. Now, a mistake a lot of traders will tend to make is that they will look to enter on top of that supply zone when they see a bearish candlestick with, for example, the stop loss above the overall high. However, a bearish reaction to a supply zone is not a signal to actually enter a sell position, because when we actually enter in these kind of situations, you will often see that the market just pushes back in towards the downside to, for example, this immediate demand zone, and then from that demand zone just continue with the overall trend. Because when the trend on the 4-hour time frame is bullish, supply zones are simply said just points of a potential reaction, like we are now currently going to see. Now, with that understood, I always want to be trading towards a point of liquidity, and a point of liquidity can be identified as an impulse in towards the downside and then looking for small pullbacks within that overall impulsive phase. So when I look within that impulsive phase where we have points of liquidity, I'm going to say, hey, the top of this bullish candle over here and the top of this little range that we have over here. Previously, we also had this high over here, which is a clear overall point of liquidity. And for those who are not aware how to identify liquidity, you simply want to be looking at, again, the impulsive phase in towards the downside, and then you want to be looking at small pullbacks. That is where we have points of liquidity. And as we can see here, as soon as we take out liquidity above this high, the market gives us a bearish reaction. But then again, a lot of traders, what are going to be doing, they're going to be selling that overall bearish reaction with the stops above the highs. But the only moment that you will actually have a valid sell position is if this low here were to break. Why? Because that is the moment that the market structure shifts. Then you retrace into, for example, a supply zone for value gap, and then you look for a short position, because that's when you'll have the higher probability short. But in the current 4-hour market structure, it is clear that we are bullish, and therefore we are currently focused on longs within this overall bullish range, which stems from the low in towards the highs. We've retested the monthly and the 3 monthly open. We've retested the overall demand zone. We have liquidated the initial reaction here, and we're now looking for the V-shaped reversal or continuation in towards the upside, towards the next significant point of liquidity. Now, based on this, we can now continue with this overall bias on the 1-hour time frame. Now, when you get to the 1-hour time frame, you first of all want to define your overall 1-hour swing range. Now, the swing range that we're currently working with works from the highest high towards the lowest low, and the lowest low is going to be this low over here. Now, why is it, for example, this low and not this low? Well, that's because of the break of structure that takes place over here. When you have a break of structure that takes place, do not look at the most recent low, but look at the actual lowest point from where the whole move in towards the upside starts to form from, because that is going to be your overall point of your swing low. Now, when we then understand that the 1 hour is also bullish, again, we want to define the impulse in towards the highs, because within that impulse, before the next leg in towards the highs can start, you always need to take out a point of liquidity within that impulse in towards the highs. Again, how do we identify liquidity? We look for the low of a bearish candlestick. For example, the low over here, or the low over here, or for example, it could be the low over here. When we had the initial drive in towards the highs over here, you can clearly see that the market retraced into this imbalance, which a lot of traders would identify as an area of demand. However, this for myself is not valid, because for the next impulsive phase in towards the highs to start, and with impulsive phase I mean that the retracement is over and that the next impulse can start, we need to take out liquidity within the actual impulse that you have in towards the upside. Therefore, this initial move that we had in towards the upside for myself was a fake move, and that is just engineering liquidity to be taken, which we saw here with a strong push down, to then give us the real actual move in towards the upside. So what we then see happening is that the market indeed on Monday night takes out the overall swing low, and once that swing low gets taken, we have an actual valid liquidation which took place within the impulse in towards the highs. Furthermore, we retested the monthly and the 3-monthly open, and we've also retraced into discount pricing, meaning we have retraced underneath the 0.5 Fibonacci retracement level. So as you can see, we're currently building a case for the overall long setup, which we're about to take. Now, the next step in actually understanding that we can take that long position and that this was here the actual valid liquidation is by looking for a change of character after this overall sweep of liquidity. So what does that look like? Well, for that, we need to go into the individual candlesticks. And what we see here is that the most recent high here that broke all of those lows, that has now been broke. So once that high has been broken, we then have a confirmation that this is the liquidity sweep, and that we can now look for the next long. So again, for you to understand that we have bottomed out and swept the liquidity, that we formed the low, and that the next impulsive phase in towards the highs has started, you need a 1 point of liquidity and 2 a change of character, which we've had over here. So with that change of character now taking place, I understand we've had the impulse in towards the highs, we've had the pullback towards the point of liquidity, and we're now currently in the impulsive phase. Now, impulsive phases tend to be very impulsive on gold, as we can see, for example, over here. So I want to be relatively aggressive with my entries. I simply want to be looking for a liquidation and then the continuation in towards the highs. Now, what this looks like is, for example, when the change of character here takes place, we see a break here of the highs. Now, at that point in time, I'm simply monitoring the overall liquidity low that could potentially be taken out, because with this break of structure here, a lot of traders are now looking at this demand zone to then go long and trade the continuation further in towards the upside. However, this for me is strictly forbidden, because I always need a point of liquidity being taken in order to look for the actual long position. And what that looks like is that we have a push up, a push down, a fake out, the liquidation, and then what I call the continuation. So what we see here on gold is as well, by the way, something very interesting, which is this descending trend line where we see a 1 tap, a 2nd tap, a 3rd tap, and a 4th tap. So again, I understand a lot of traders are looking to sell here on that overall trend line touch, but we are simply looking to buy because we understand that the market structure and all of the other confluences points out to us that we're ready to go long. So what I see happening here is that we see a sweep of liquidity. Now, at that point in time, I understand, hey, if we now get a change in structure or a change of character, I will have a valid long position. Now, what we then do is we enter on the overall high break with our stop loss underneath the overall low, which swept liquidity. This here for me is that overall sweep of liquidity. What we then do is that we target a new higher high, and you can target always a 1 to 2 risk to reward. That's my mechanical go-to. And from that point onwards, the market continues pushing in towards the highs with the overall momentum, sweeps the liquidity that was resting above this high, and we then have that valid short position here playing out. Now, a lot of you might then wonder, Fabio, what is then the overall confluence from a fundamental perspective to take a long position like this? Well, I look at several different things, but on gold, the overall case has been being made by mainly the overall tensions or the global geopolitical tensions in the Middle East. This for me is a major confluence why I'm happy to continue taking long positions on gold with the recent overall 4-hour trend. Furthermore, rate cuts are currently being priced in, and the market expects the Federal Reserve to cut rates, which means that there's going to be lower returns on your overall invested capital. Now, what will happen is that gold will then tend to rise, because the overall relationship between lower yields is that gold will tend to push up further in towards the highs. Now, based on this, I built a fundamental case for the gold long, and it aligned beautifully with the overall technical analysis. Now, if you have any questions about this gold setup, make sure to let me know in the comment section down below. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And if you have any questions or recommendations for future videos, make sure to let me know as well in the comments. Simple video, but extremely valuable. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.